is you that holds us together when everything else fails us. It is you that holds us together. You're the keeper, protector. It is you that holds us together when everything else fails us. It is you that holds us together. You're the keeper, protector. It is you that holds us together when everything else fails us. It is you that holds us together. Hold us together. Hold us together. Hold us together. You hold us together. just what you say. Though the storms may come and the winds may blow, I'll remain steadfast. And then my heart learn when you speak a word, it will come to pass. Great is your faithfulness to me. Great is your faithfulness to me. From the rising sun to the setting same, I will praise your name. Great is your faithfulness to me. God, from age to age, though the earth may pass away, your word remains the same. Yeah. History can prove there's nothing you can't do. You're faithful and true. Though the storms may come and the winds may blow, I'll remain steadfast. And then my heart learn when you speak a word, it will come to pass. Though the storms may come and the winds may blow, I'll remain steadfast. And then my heart learn when you speak a word, it will come to pass. Great is your faithfulness to me. Great is your faithfulness to me. From the rising sun to the setting same, I will praise your name. Great is your faithfulness to me. Great is your faithfulness to me. From the rising sun to the setting same, I will praise your name. Great is your faithfulness to me. God of Abraham, you're the God of covenant and your faithful promises. Yeah. Time and time again, you are proven you do just what you say. Though the storms may come.
Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this installation and assumption of office ceremony in honor of the Principal Judge-elect, Honorable Justice BYRAM ONGAYA. In a short while, we will have a procession of the judges. When the maze is presented in the dome, I will request you to be kindly upstanding and remain standing until we are done with the protocols of the national anthem and the national prayer. We will have broadcast on the screen a bit of the procession, and I will request as soon as the mace is in the dome that we all kindly be upstanding. Welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, the march is on. And really the march symbolizes the solemnity of the office that is being assumed today. The Employment and Labor Relations Court is a creation of the Constitution under Article 161 of the Constitution, and the office of Principal Judge is also enacted in statute and under Section 5 of the Employment and Labor Relations Court Act. The model adopted by the judiciary, the leadership model, is one that we call shared leadership. And the principal judge of the ELRC joins the principal judge of the High Court, the presiding judge of the ELC, the president of the Court of Appeal, the president of the Supreme Court, the deputy chief justice, the chief registrar of the judiciary, and registrars of the courts, of the superior courts, the registrar of the magistrates court, and the registrar of tribunals, in an organ called the Judiciary Leadership Team that supports the Chief Justice in governing the judiciary. the Employment and Labor Relations Court first elected a principal judge in the year 2012. This is the third principal judge of the court that has exhibited exceptional performance in its 10 years of operation. As the music gets closer, let's also get ready to honor this procession and the entrant of the judiciary mace, which represents judicial authority under Article 159. Ladies and gentlemen, the judges are donning the red ceremonial robes. May I very humbly request you now to be upstanding. I also invite you to take cognizance of the detail in the judiciary maze, to take cognizance of the various symbols there, the coat of arms, the judiciary logo, and the emblems of the Kenyan state, signifying that the judiciary is one among three equal core arms of government. Thank you very much. May I request you to remain upstanding for the national anthem and the East African anthem. Band. Thank you. While we are still upstanding, I now invite Reverend Bishop Kefa Omai to lead us with a word of prayer.
Well, it's a great joy and honor once again to gather under this great opportunity that we have from God. Allow me to read Psalm 111 and then we pray. Psalm 111. Praise you the Lord. I will praise the Lord with my whole heart. In the assembly of the upright and in the congregation, the works of the Lord are great, sought out of all them that have pleasure therein. His work is honorable and glorious, and his righteousness endureth forever. He has made his wonderful works to be remembered. The Lord is gracious and full of compassion. He hath given meat unto them that fear him, and he will ever be mindful of his covenant. He has shown his power to his people, his works, that he may give them the heritage of the heathen. The works of his hands are verity and judgment. All his commandments are sure. They stand fast forever and ever, and are done in truth and in uprightness. Verse number 10, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good opportunity of all they that do his commandments, and his praise endureth forever. Shall we pray? Our loving Father, in the name of Jesus Christ, we thank you and we honor you. For this is the day that you have made. We rejoice and we are glad in you. We thank you for the gift of life, and we thank you for endowing us with different graces, abilities, so that we are able to serve your people and more so serve your purposes. We are gathered here today in this great occasion of the instauration and assumption into office of your servant. Father, we pray that as we begin this function, that your presence indeed be in this place. And much more so, may the words that we have read in the book of Psalm 111, Father, become a reality and be demonstrated in this function today. We commend ourselves to you, and we thank you that indeed you have honored this occasion, and much more so, we thank you for your servant, Honorable Justice BYRAM. We thank you for his life. Lord, we pray that even as he assumes office officially, and as we witness even the instauration moment, Father, we pray that he will enter into this office with the understanding that he's getting in there to serve your people. And your word says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom and knowledge. We pray that you'll endow him with the same even as he takes over and serves your people in this country. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
God bless you.
Honorable Deputy Chief Kadhi will lead us in a second prayer.
Thank you. In the name of Allah, most gracious and most merciful, praise be to Allah the Lord, the creator and sustainer of all creations. Ya Allah, you alone we sincerely worship, and you alone we humbly ask and pray for your help and assistance in everything we do and undertake. Guide us to the right and straight path that will grant and lead us to success in our world and in the hereafter, when we will be all assembled before you for accountability and final judgment on our deeds in this world. O Allah, grant our leaders wisdom, correct and right vision, and strength to deliver their task and mandate in the best manner that would please you, Ya Allah. Allah, you have entrusted the judiciary with the delicate task of dispensing justice among your servants. Ya Allah, make this enormous task easy for all our judges and other justice actors. God, we thank you for the good work and positive contributions made by the Judicial Service Commission, National Council for the Administration of Justice, our Chief Justice, and our fellow judges, judicial officers, directorates, and all stakeholders in justice sector towards the immense improvement and transformations in the delivery of justice. Ya Allah, today we have gathered here to celebrate you again for the gift of Principal Judge of the Employment and Labor Relations, Justice BYRAM ONGAYA. Ya Allah, be always with him, hold on his hand, mind, limbs, pens, and all his tools of work, and guide him and his fellow colleagues in ELC and all other stakeholders to your right path. O God of justice, continue granting our judges, judicial officers, and all other supporting agencies guidance, wisdom, and vision to serve your servants in the best manner as please you, O Lord. In the light of your holy words, as expressed in the chapter of women, verse 135, and I quote, O you who believe, stand out firmly for justice, as witness to Allah, even though it be against yourselves, or your parents, or your kin, be he rich or poor, Allah is a better protector to both than you. So follow not the lust of your hearts, lest you may avoid justice. And if you distort your witness or refuse to give it, verily, Allah is ever well acquainted with what you do. O Allah, we pray that you shower your blessings on our nation, Kenya, our people, our leaders, the President, his deputy, the ministers, legislatures, judiciary, and all our work, especially this gathering, and all its participants. Grant us peace, love, unity, and prosperity. May peace and blessing of Allah be upon the messengers of Allah and on all righteous men and women ever lived on this earth. Amen.
Amen. I invite you now to take your seats. Thank you very much. Honorable Justice Martha Koome, Chief Justice and President of the Supreme Court of Kenya. Honorable Lady Justice Philomena Mbete Mwilu, Deputy Chief Justice and Vice President of the Supreme Court of Kenya. Honorable Judges of the Supreme Court. Honorable Justice Dr. Smokin Wanjala, Director of the Kenya Judiciary Academy. Honorable members of the Judicial Service Commission present. Chairperson of the Public Service Commission, Ambassador Anthony Mushiri. Honorable Judges of the Court of Appeal are present. Honorable Lady Justice Maureen Onyango, Principal Judge of the Employment and Labor Relations Court. Honorable Justice BYRAM ONGAYA, Principal Judge-elect of the Employment and Labor Relations Court. Honorable Principal Judge of the High Court. Honorable Presiding Judge of the Environment and Land Court. Honorable Principal Judge Emeritus the First of the Employment and Labor Relations Court, Honorable Mr. Justice Matthews Nderi Nduma. Honorable Judges of the Employment and Labor Relations Court, the Environment and Land Court, and the High Court, Honorable Paul Ndemo, Deputy Chief Registrar of the Judiciary, Honorable Registrars present, Honorable Judicial Officers, Director, Diaspora at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Washington Law, Commandant of the Judiciary Police Unit, AIG Lazarus Opicho, Honorable Sukian Hassan, Deputy Chief Kathy, our Reverend Bishop Kefa Omai, the Chairperson of the LSK Nairobi Region, Miss Helen Namisi, and members of the Nairobi and other LSK national chapters, Acting Commissioner at the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection, Miss Helen Opio, and members of staff from the ministry, representative of the International Labour Organization, representative from the Office of the Attorney General, representative from the Office of Director of Public Prosecutions, representative from the Salaries and Remuneration Commission, representative of COTU, representative of the Federation of Kenyan Employers, senior public officers here present, representatives from our value development partners, judiciary staff, distinguished guests, extended judiciary family, ladies and gentlemen. I have the honor and great privilege of welcoming you to this installation and assumption of office ceremony in honor of Honorable BYRAM ONGAYA, Principal Judge-elect of the Employment and Labor Relations Court. The court, which is established under Article 162(2)(a) of the Constitution and has jurisdiction over matters outlined under Article 41 of the Constitution. This ceremony is held pursuant to Section 5 of the Employment and Labor Relations Court Act. And to open this session of the ceremony, it is now my humble pleasure to invite Honorable Mr. Justice Matthews Nderinduma, who was a founding principal judge of this court, to take us through a journey of history, of the history of the court. My Lord, welcome.
Good morning. This is the day for BYRAM ONGAYA III. BYRAM ONGAYA takes over today upon being installed by Honorable the Chief Justice from Honorable Maureen Onyango II, who will leave office today. Maureen Onyango assumed office in 2017. I was the first principal judge of the court. I took over in 2012 upon the establishment of the court. This court, Employment and Labor Court, was preceded by the Industrial Court, which was established pursuant to the dictates of International Labour Organization, 1964, when the Industrial Charter was proclaimed and the Industrial Court established, with its first president, Justice Coker. Justice Coker remained president of the court for 4 decades. But he was not president all along, because at one point it was decreed that nobody could be called president. And so the title had to be quickly changed to chairman. Later on, Justice Chemtut took over the court, this time with 3 other judges, Justice Mukunya, Justice Matayo, the senator, and Justice Rika, the only judge to survive from the old generation of the court. So this court was pronounced in the Constitution by the people of Kenya under Article 162, and it was established 2 years later, in 2012, under the Employment and Labor Relations Court Act. We started off in the Ministry of Labor. It was a very difficult path. because at that point there was a pending suit in court. The judges who were there did not want to leave, and they used to sit with assessors. So when we were appointed and we went to sit in our chambers at the Labor Ministry, we had to remain in the corridors as the cases were argued before the High Court, who should be the judges of the court. That is how this court was birthed until that issue was resolved, and the current crop, the first crop of 12 judges, took the reins of Employment and Labor Relations Court. The Industrial Court laid a very good foundation for industrial peace, dispute resolution, collective bargaining, and generally creating a conducive establishment of policy documents which guide that relationship to ensure that there is peace and there is productivity at the workplace. So this, I do not want to get into what other speakers will get into about the achievements of this court. So I will lay that general outline of the role of this court, and I think we have been excellent in ensuring that the workplace in Kenya is peaceful and productive. With those few remarks, I would want to welcome you to this occasion and to celebrate the joy of BYRAM ONGAYA III. Karibuni sana.
Thank you, Judge. Allow me to request you to remain on stage and to invite the principal judge to join you, because indeed this 10 years of the court's existence has been documented in a historical account that has now been turned into a book that we can all enjoy and peruse. And I request very humbly for the Honorable Chief Justice to join the judges on stage to receive this account of the court's existence through time. With very tremendous humility, also invite the Deputy Chief Justice to join the Chief Justice on stage. It is an account of leadership across two very distinguished judges who have led the court through 10 years of establishment. We will all ensure that you get a copy of the book that will give you an account of what this journey has indeed been like. A copy for the Deputy Chief Justice as well. Band, I invite you to celebrate this moment. Thank you very much, Chief Justice. Thank you very much, Deputy Chief Justice. Thank you very much, Honorable Judge. And now we will get into a session of short speeches from our foremost collaborators, the people who work with us to make sure that the jurisdiction that's given by the Constitution is operationalized through and through. To start us off, I will invite Mr. Wafula Wamusamia, representing the Secretary General of KOTU. Welcome, sir.
Honorable Chief Justice, all judges, all protocol observed, ladies and gentlemen, it is Court's pleasure to be here today to commemorate the installation of Assumption Office of Justice BYRAM ONGAYA. As COTU, we are the main consumers of services of the employment labor relations, because we interact with the employers, with the government officials and ministers of labor, and the judges of the Labor and Relations Court, to ensure that services of our members are delivered in good time. Ours will be very brief, Chief Justice, because this is a ceremony that we are happy to be part of. Would wish to say that as the Labor and Employment Court matures, we wish that the issue of ADR, Alternative Dispute Resolution Mechanism, is entrenched to make our work very easy, so that we don't have a backlog of disputes at the Labor Court. So perhaps if that can be done, Chief Justice, we'll be grateful. And I thank you all for inviting me to be here. Thank you very much. May God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Omusamia, for that message. And indeed, in order for the scales of justice to balance, we will continue to work hand in hand to make sure that the Kenyan people are fully and properly served. Second, allow me to welcome Mr. George Masese, representing the Federation of Kenya Employers.
Honorable Chief Justice, Justice Mother Koome, first let me make it clear that I stand before you on behalf of the Executive Director of the Federation of Kenya Employers, and since she's a lawyer, I can comfortably say that I'm holding a brief this morning. Lady Justice Mother Koome, Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya and the President of the Supreme Court, Lady Justice, Deputy Chief Justice, Presiding Principal Judge of the Employment and Labor Relations Court, Justice BYRAM ONGAYA, immediate former Presiding Principal Judge of the Employment and Labor Relations Court, Honorable Lady Justice Maureen Onyango, Honorable Judges of the Supreme Court, of the Superior Courts present, Honorable Judges, Registrars and Deputy Registrars, staff of the Judiciary, my colleagues, advocates of the High Court, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I bring you greetings from the Federation of Kenya Employers. The Federation of Kenya Employers is honored to be here to witness the installation of Justice BYRAM ONGAYA as the new Principal Judge of the Employment and Labor Relations Court. We take this opportunity also to congratulate the Employment and Labor Relations Court as you gear towards celebrating your 10 years anniversary, marking yet another great milestone in the history of the Employment and Labor Relations Court and the judiciary as a whole. Madam Chief Justice, we appreciate your efforts in facilitating the growth and the visions of the Employment and Labor Relations Court, especially in recognizing the need to increase the capacity of this court. Principal Judge Justice BYRAM ONGAYA, I would like to take this opportunity to extend my warm congratulations to you on your new appointment and wish you every success as you embark on this important mandate. On behalf of the employers, we assure you of our support and look forward to working closely with you and the entire judiciary as you champion the execution of the Employment and Labor Relations Court mandate and the vision of the judiciary of social transformation through access to justice. I also take this opportunity to thank and appreciate the immediate former Principal Judge of this court, Honorable Lady Justice Maureen Onyango. Indeed, during your tenure, you have exhibited diligence, resilience, and led progress within the employment and labor relations sector. We celebrate you and wish you the very best in your future endeavor. Ladies and gentlemen, over the years, we have witnessed some real transformation in the judiciary with a great improvement of the rate at which disputes are resolved. The Kenyan courts has for years been primarily characterized by paper-based procedures and physical court appearances. The COVID-19, which can be said to be a blessing, however, necessitated leveraging on digital technology in the administration of justice. And this has proved to be very crucial innovation solution to ensuring service delivery in the face of the coronavirus pandemic. As we strive to recover from the effects of the pandemic, technology remains ever evolving and has also made court procedures and proceedings more transparent and efficient. I commend the judiciary for implementing the transformational digitization of our court system, which has greatly reduced the backlog of cases, thus contributing to expeditious disposal of disputes. Employers and workers who are represented by Wafula Wamusami from Kotu, and through their other various unions, look up to this court, not only for justice, but for the growth and development of jurisprudence in the labor sector and in Kenya as a whole through the powers it holds in decision-making. FKE applauds the Employment and Labor Relations Court for its deliberate effort in encouraging parties to use alternative dispute resolution mechanism as one way of resolving disputes away from the mainstream judicial system. And this has been done through the court annexed mediation, which is a project has strengthened the ADR system. As employers, we ask if, or we will appreciate, the incorporation of the economic planning unit within the judiciary to fast-track the resolution of economic disputes between employers and employees. In conclusion, I would like to conclude by once again congratulating Honorable Principal Judge BYRAM ONGAYA. We look forward to working closely with your court to strengthen the labor relations in courts. Thank you, Honorable Chief Justice.
Thank you very much, Mr. Masese, for that very illuminating message. Indeed, Kenya now leads judiciaries in Africa and actually around the world on ICT absorption, something that we are very proud of and something that we should all celebrate. We also recognize the industrial revolution of our country and the progressive jurisprudence that's coming from the court, but also the exceptional collaboration and partnership that all our partners continue to have. So your message is very well taken and truly and deeply appreciated. Next, I will invite Ms. Helen Namisi, who's a chairperson of the Nairobi branch of the Law Society, representing the president of the Law Society of Kenya, to give her remarks. Karibu.
My Lady, the Chief Justice, my Lady, the Deputy Chief Justice, allow me to adopt the extensive protocol earlier laid out. Good morning. Indeed, I hold brief for Eric Theory, who is currently out of the country on official duty. My Lady, I tried to borrow a leaf from your book to go green. Unfortunately, my eyes always let me down, so I will try as much as possible to see what is written on this screen. On behalf of the LSK, please receive our most sincere congratulations, Honorable Justice BYRAM ONGAYA, on your election and installation today as the newly elected Principal Judge of the ELRC. We wish you all the best as you take up this office and remain committed to working with the ELRC to ensure access to justice. On behalf of the LSK Nairobi branch, I wish to convey our sincere gratitude to Honorable Lady Justice Maureen Onyango, the outgoing PJ, who embraced the idea of the inaugural ELRC Bar Bench Committee and personally attended most, if not all, the meetings. The gap between the bar and the bench definitely has been bridged, and on behalf of the LSK Nairobi, we are grateful that communication lines are open, Concerns are openly addressed and mutually resolved in as far as is possible in the spirit of collaboration and mutuality, which has raised the bar high on service delivery and practice in the court. Speaking to some of my members earlier, some of the views, the compliments that I received were that the ELRC has an online platform which they appreciate. The backlog of cases is slowly but surely reducing through a systematic and deliberate effort by the court. Communication lines are open, transparent, friendly, and feedback comes through very quickly. It is the only court where the cause list is out at least a week in advance, and for lawyers that really matters in terms of planning. The deputy registrars are readily available to assist and support on individual and collective issues that arise from time to time. Of course, looking into the future, we know where we'd like to be, and we cannot at this point sit on our laurels. There's still a lot to be done. And so to the incoming principal judge, we have a few requests, and that is one, consistency in the decisions coming from the ELRC court, because our clients would love to comply, but it's difficult even for us to be able to predict and advise them. Secondly, we have noted that there are new ELRC judges, and as much as we do give and appreciate that they will take time to learn the ropes, we are suggesting that there should be some sort of mentorship so that they can take to their duties like fish in water. Attendance by more judges of the court in our bar bench forums would be appreciated. We don't mind having too many judges, and we wouldn't mind physical meetings either. We appreciate the tea. And a common approach, finally, a common approach that should be adopted by all ELRC courts across the country with regards to administrative matters, so that one practicing in Nairobi would face the same administrative issues or practices in other courts, and that they don't differ too much, because then it's difficult even for the practitioners to be able to keep up. Finally, we look forward to the continued access and engagement with the PJ's office, and as the bench, we do commit to continue to work together as we seek to enhance the authority of this honorable court and to improve efficiency for all stakeholders. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairperson. And indeed, access to legal information remains a fundamental component of the right of access to justice. And we are very grateful and appreciate the LSK's proactive attitude to champion partnerships through CUCs and have taken the call and indeed leading the standardization of service delivery through the social transformation through access to justice vision. Thank you very much, Madam Namisi. Next, allow me to invite the representative of the ILO, Ms. Gertrude Angote, to deliver her remarks.
Honorable Chief Justice and President of the Supreme Court, Honorable Deputy Chief Justice, Honorable President of the Court of Appeal, Honorable Principal Judge of the High Court, Honorable Judges and Magistrates present, members of the Bar and the Judiciary staff present, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Honorable Chief Justice and President of the Supreme Court, my name is Gertrude Angote. I'm also counsel within this republic, and really thought to think on my feet because this is a bit of an ambush, but I'm happy because we do everything labor. So allow me on behalf of the International Labor Organization to request that you receive our hearty congratulations, Honorable Justice BYRAM ONGAYA, for this installation and assumption of office ceremony. We at the ILO, as you know, we are the oldest. ILO is the only United Nations organization that supports tripartite engagement of government workers and employers across the globe. And we we bring together governments in order to for employers and workers and governments interested in supporting the setting of standards, international labor standards, acceptable conditions of work, or decent work, if you may, for all men and women. So in this country, the ILO is present, although our office is in country office Dar es Salaam, but we are present and are working very closely with the ministry, together with all the key partners, the workers' organization and employers, in order to be able to enhance international labor standards and acceptable conditions of work. And we are happy because the judiciary, through the Honorable Justice Wasilwa, has been very vibrant in participating in many of our engagements. And therefore, we are pleased as International Labor Organization to invite the Honorable Principal Judge, who is being installed today, Honorable BYRAM ONGAYA, to work with us and partner with us because we have major programs within the country which support compliance with the international labor standards. Do our laws comply with international labor standards? Do our courts and practices comply with international labor standards? And we are great on supporting social dialogue. So we invite you to work with us. We'll be happy to partner with you through this journey and the various programs which the International Labor Organization has present in Kenya. Once again, hearty congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much, Madam Angote. Indeed, we were following the 346th session of the ILO governing body session, and are very encouraged that actually advancing social justice is a core element of the ILO, and so we draw synergies with the vision that is being pursued by the judiciary. Next, I will invite Ms. Jacinta Nyamosi, representing the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. Welcome.
My lady, the Chief Justice, Martha Koome, my lady, the Deputy Chief Justice, allow me to adopt the protocols that have already been adopted. And congratulations on my behalf. My name is Jacinta. Congratulations, inspiration to all of us. As you assume your role as the principal judge to this court, I reflect on the high powers that your office wields and its wide-reaching supervisory jurisdiction. I therefore place high performance on the significance for consistent collaboration and cooperation between the judiciary and the Office of the DPP through all platforms, which include the NCAJ. It is notable that this court handles matters that are very emotive and extremely sensitive, and that I'm certain that I'm certain that you'll ensure that you'll spearhead reforms that will be of great benefit to the mwananchi. My office will endeavor to give you and our continued support as you embark on this noble duty. Great things are rarely done by one person, but they are often done by a team of dedicated and diligent people. We are all hopefully represented in the latter category. Therefore, as we execute our independent and distinct mandates efficiently and effectively, I am certain that we shall be able to offer quality services to Kenyans and swiftly tackle the delays in the delivery of justice. We should build an existing foundation that has been laid through the linking of our case management systems, the ODPP, Uadilifu Management System, and the judicial system, recognizing that this is an inspirational milestone in our partnership. To expand the platforms to enhance access of justice, I propose we expand our communication channels by going out to the communities, listening to their challenges, and collectively developing remedial actions. Once again, on behalf of the ODPP family, we congratulate you for a great achievement and look forward to partnering with you on the ongoing journey of making justice our shield and defender. God bless you and congratulations once more. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam Nyamosi, for that affirming message from the DPP, indeed reaffirming our joint aspiration to make sure that our systems are interoperable so that we can best scale efficiency and access to justice. Next, I invite Ms. Christine Oyugi, representing the Honorable Attorney General. Welcome, ma'am.
The Honorable Chief Justice and President of the Supreme Court of Kenya, the Honorable Deputy Chief Justice, the Honorable President of the Court of Appeal, the Honorable Principal Judge of the Employment and Labor Relations Court, the Honorable Judges and Magistrates, members of the Bar and Judiciary staff, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Honorable Chief Justice, I am Christine Oyugi, a Principal State Counsel, and I stand before all gathered here today to make a brief remark on behalf of the Honorable the Attorney General, who could not be here with you today. Please accept the Honorable Attorney General's apologies. As the Office of the Attorney General and Department of Justice, we are thankful for the invitation. Honorable Chief Justice, I'm also representing Mr. Oscar Iredi, Chief State Counsel and Head of the Employment and Labor Relations Division in the Office of the Attorney General, who sits in the Employment and Labor Relations Rules Committee and could not be here today because of other official engagements. Honorable Chief Justice, members of the judiciary, today is a great constitutional and legal moment that we assemble at these hallowed grounds of Milimani High Court to install the Principal Judge of the Employment and Labor Relations Court. We at the Office of the Attorney General and Department of Justice commend the judges of the Employment and Labor Relations Court on the election of the Principal Judge and extend our congratulations to the Principal Judge-elect, the Honorable Mr. BYRAM ONGAYA. We have, as we are all aware, that the Principal Judge-elect, upon being installed, has some functions to conduct. We take this opportunity to assure him of our support, that during his tenure, the Office of the Attorney General will stand and support the office as we dispense justice. We are the Office of the Attorney General and Department of Justice assure the Principal Judge that we are supporting him as he embarks on the new responsibility and functions of the office. Let me conclude these brief remarks by appreciating the outgoing Principal Judge, Emeritus Lady Justice Maureen Onyango, for her stewardship of the Employment and Labor Relations Court, and wish her best wishes as she continues with the noble task of service delivery to the Kenyan citizen. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Madam Oyugi, for that wonderful message from the Honorable Attorney General. I will now invite Ms. Helen Apio, representing the Cabinet Secretary for Labor and Social Protection, to give her remarks. Karibu.
Like the speakers before me, I will adopt the protocol. I will keep to the minutes given. And Honorable Justice Martha Koome, Chief Justice and President of the Supreme Court, Honorable Philomena Mwilu, the Deputy Chief Justice, Honorable Smokin Wanjala, Judge of the Supreme Court of Kenya, Honorable Justice Maureen Onyango, the outgoing Principal Judge of the Employment and Labor Relations Court, Honorable Justice BYRAM ONGAYA, the incoming Principal Judge of the Employment and Labor Relations Court, Honorable Judges and Magistrates present, the Chairman of the Public Service Commission, Ambassador Anthony Mushiri, members of the Judicial Service Commission who are present, the Excellencies present, the representative of the Federation of Kenya Employers, the representative of Court 2, the representative of ODPP, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Chief Justice, Madam Chief Justice, my name is Helen Apio. I'm the Acting Commissioner for Labor, and I bring with me the warmest greetings from the Ministry of Labor, and more specifically from the Cabinet Secretary, Florence Bore, who was not able to join us this morning, as well as the Principal Secretary, Engineer Peter Tum, who would have loved to be personally here, but who were called upon this morning for an urgent meeting and has indulged me to stand in for him. As a ministry, Madam Chief Justice, we are truly privileged and take grace to have been invited to this very important and auspicious occasion to witness the installation of the next Principal Judge, Honorable BYRAM ONGAYA of the Employment and Labor Relations Court. And I am accompanied with me by the court users in that particular ministry, and that is the Acting Registrar of Trade Unions, Madam Beatrice Madenge. I ask her to kindly stand and just wave. The Acting Registrar of Trade Unions, Madam Beatrice Madenge. With her is the Chief Industrial Relations Officer, Mr. Solomon Kuloba, also behind there. As well, we have a senior economist who works with the court, the Employment and Labor Relations Court, Mr. Benson Okwayo, kindly. Thank you. Madam Chief Justice, would like to state from the outset that our ministry recognizes the Employment and Labor Relations Court as a partner in championing the goals of decent work and promotion of employment in this country. Since its inception of the court, and this goes back to 1964, the Industrial Court, the predecessor of the Employment and Labor Relations Court, under the old constitutional order, we are thankful that we have the court, and it has been a key force in promoting social dialogue, industrial democracy, good governance, social justice, industrial peace, and harmony. And we celebrate the court, and we are giving our commitment to support the court as it dispenses justice. It continues to dispense justice. The ministry and the court indeed share a lot in common, and in advocating matters of mutual interest and benefit for workers and employers. Significantly, we have partnered in various areas and collaborated in a myriad of activities, more notably in combating dispute resolution, child labor, capacity building of the tripartite, and in reviewing labor laws. The Court User Committee has been particularly useful, Madam Chief Justice, and has had a very positive outcome in helping the ministry seamlessly navigate through the court and in the court corridors and in other administrative issues of the court. The good and collaborative engagement with the court would not have been possible, Madam Chief Justice, without the invaluable and committed leadership of the Office of the Principal Judge. The outgoing Principal Judge, Honorable Justice Maureen Onyango, and her predecessor, Honorable Justice Nderi Nduma. Chief Justice, there are many areas that we need to collaborate and work together on, and I may not be able to enumerate all of them. However, we have a priority list which we will be sharing with the Principal Judge possibly from next week, and one of the particular areas is in the area of ADR, Alternative Dispute Resolution, and which we implore upon the court, if possible, to admit the retired labor officers. We have many retired labor officers who are still strong, energetic and very knowledgeable, and who would want to still be engaged in building the nation. And we implore that your court considers admitting them to the list of the court annex mediation list mediators. The other issue is on the issue of prosecutorial powers, and which we will be engaging the principal judge as well as the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. The prosecutorial powers of labor officers, as much as it's provided for under the Labor Institutions Act, this was withdrawn, and this presents a challenge in terms of enforcing justice in the labor sector. We are not able to prosecute those matters in the designated lower courts that are expected to deal with labor disputes. Madam Chief Justice, as I wish to conclude, let me also take this opportunity to express the ministry's gratitude to all judicial officers, employers, and workers in their commitment and determination in making this court stand tall as a tower of justice and a beacon of hope for the tripartite. Government, employers, and workers, and all stakeholders gathered here do appreciate the stellar performance the court has played in dispensation of justice. To the incoming principal judge, we say congratulations. We will be looking up to you for your further support, and as the ministry, we promise unwavering support, and so will the social partners who have spoken before. With those many remarks, Madam Chief Justice, allow me to say that we are happy to be here and to be associated with the court, and we'll look forward to a very robust and interactive engagement in the future. Thank you very much, and may God bless you all. Asante.
Thank you very, very much, Madam Commissioner. We recognize the work that the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection continues to do to deepen our policies and to ensure that Kenya is a country of healthy and happy workers and employers. Thank you very much. With your permission, Honorable Chief Justice, allow me to also recognize the work that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs continues to do, represented here by the Director of Diaspora Affairs, Ambassador Washington Olo, especially to protect Kenyans living abroad. We pass our greetings and assurances to all our guests represented here to continue working together to expand and deepen the doorways of justice. I also thank all the speakers for sticking to the time provided and for allowing us to now move on schedule to the next segment that will be chaired by Honorable Lady Justice Helen Wasilwa. My lady, I hand the platform over to you.
Thank you so much, Madam Washuka. The Honorable the Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya, the Honorable the Deputy Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya, and allow me to adopt the protocols that have already been set before me. It is indeed another moment. We just want to blow our own trumpet and also lay our cards on the table where we have been through our principal judge. Allow me at this particular time to invite the principal judge, Justice Maureen Onyango, to go, so that she can be able to tell us her highs and lows, which will be able to help the incoming principal judge in his dispensation of the work that is ahead of you. So welcome, Madam Maureen Onyango.
Thank you. Honorable Lady Justice Martha Koome, my lady, the Deputy Chief Justice, Honorable Justice Philomena Mbete Mwilu, Justice Smokin Wanjala, Director of Kenya Judiciary Academy and Judge of the Supreme Court, Honorable Judges present, ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to adopt the protocols as already laid out by my predecessors on the podium and by the Chief of Staff at the beginning of the session. It is with gratitude and humility that I stand before you today to make my valedictory speech after serving as Principal Judge for the Employment and Labor Relations Court for the past 5 years. May I start by congratulating my brother, Justice BYRAM ONGAYA, on his election and on his installation today. I wish you well in your future work as principal of the court. May I also appreciate our stakeholders for the good words you have for us. We have also taken note of the requests that have been made. I am sure the judge is going to handle them and deal with them to your satisfaction. The Employment and Labor Relations Court is having its first installation today. When I took office in 2017, I remember I was elected on 6th of October 2017. I then went back to my station, which was Kisumu. Then on 3rd of November, I was called by the then CJ, Justice David Maraga, and asked to report to his office on 6th of November, which was, he called me on a Friday and told me to report on Monday. He had also summoned Justice Nduma, who was the then principal judge, to report to the office on that day, and that is how I took over office, in a meeting in the Chief Justice's office. I know that Justice Nduma was also elected on 5th of October 2012 and took office on 6th of October 2012 without ceremony. So we have gone a long, long way. Now we have a well-structured ceremony for installation of the heads of the various courts. And we want to thank the CJ and the CJ before her for having made this possible. Thank you. My lady, the Employment and Labor Relations Court, as we know it now, was operationalized on 12th July 2012 when the first group of 12 judges were sworn in by the late President, Honorable President Mwai Kibaki. Since then, the court has grown in leaps and bounds. At the time the Employment and Labor Relations Court was operationalized, judiciary was undergoing transformation under the blueprint of CJ Emeritus Justice Willie Mutunga, the Judiciary Transformation Framework, SJT as it was known. The Chief Justice Maraga, when he took over, also unveiled his blueprint, Sustaining Judicial Transformation, I've confused that, but he's Sustaining Judiciary Transformation. My tenure as PJ coincided with the launch of the SJT. I started my tenure by implementing the 6 pillars of the blueprint, which focused on enhancing access to justice, clearance of case backlog, digitization, enforcement of the rule of law, strengthening leadership and governance. My lady, when you took over the mantle at the judiciary in 2021, you launched your blueprint, the Social Transformation Through Access to Justice, or STAJ, as we commonly term it. The 3 blueprints have incrementally improved operations and service delivery at the judiciary and enhanced performance at all levels of the judiciary, including in the Employment and Labor Relations Court. My lady, following the launch of STAJ, we have identified the expected outcomes and reoriented our performance at the ELRC to the indicators to meet the promise that your ladyship made to the people of Kenya. In highlighting the performance of the Employment and Labor Relations Court, I have tried to focus on the outcomes under STAJ. My lady, the first promise you made to the people of Kenya is that proximity to courts will be reduced to not more than 100 kilometers. And when the court was operationalized in 2012, there were only 12 judges in 5 stations. A 6th station was established during the tenure of Emeritus 1 Justice Nduma, and when I took over, there were 6 stations. We also had sub-registries in several stations. My lady, with your appointment, barely 2 months in office, we were added another 9 judges of the Employment and Labor Relations Court who brought the number of judges in the court to 21. As a result, the court was able to expand its wings, and now we have 9 stations presided over by judges. The immediate gains of the swearing in of the 9 judges was that Kericho, which had not been having a judge from 15th September 2018, received a judge. We were also able to post a judge to Bungoma and Malindi, which were previously operated as sub-registries. We further expanded the capacity of the court to handle cases at Nairobi, where the judges were increased from 6 to 10. I believe it's the largest. If we are talking of one division, Nairobi ELRC is the largest among the superior courts. And by January next year, it will be having 12 judges. So I believe that the issues that were raised by the LSK and our other stakeholders will be handled very effectively, because we'll be having 12 judges in Nairobi. In Kisumu and Nakuru, the capacity of the court was also expanded to 2 judges, thus enhancing the ability of the court to dispose of cases more expeditiously. The court currently has 9 fully fledged registries in Nairobi, Kisumu, Bungoma, Kericho, Nyeri, Mombasa, Malindi, Eldoret, and Nakuru. The sub-registries are at Meru, Machakos, Garissa, Kisii, Kitale, Voi, Kitui, Naivasha, Siaya, and Thika, making the court accessible to 19 out of the 47 counties in Kenya. My ladyship, the Chief Justice, we are moving slowly towards achieving your promise to the Kenyans of bringing justice closer to the people. Access to justice has been enhanced by leveraging in technology, which has made it possible for parties to file and have their cases heard on the virtual platform from not just any corner of Kenya, but the world. We have had cases where both parties were outside the country, and they delivered the judgments also virtually to them from where they are. And for this, we can thank COVID-19 pandemic, which forced the judiciary to implement the virtual court, which I am told had been attempted for more than 10 years unsuccessfully. The court has utilized e-filing, Customer Care Bureau at the Milimani Court building to aid litigants with difficulties in using the e-filing system. So even parties who are not able to access e-filing on their own come to our customer center, and we give them all the facilities. The court also aids litigants who have challenges in accessing virtual platform for hearing, where we provide them with the ICT equipment that is necessary for them to sit, and a place for them to sit while the hearings go on virtually. My lady, you promised the people of Kenya that judiciary will ensure that trials do not take more than 3 years and that appeals will be concluded within 1 year. Between January 2017 and 30th June 2022, the court reduced backlog of cases older than 3 years by 13%. So we are on the right path in achieving the promise to the Kenyans. The number of days taken to conclude cases in the Employment and Labor Relations Court as at 30th June 2022 was 3.1 years. So we are not very far outside the 3-year promise on average. And this had, in June 2018, we petitioned the Chief Justice to gazette all magistrates of the rank of senior resident magistrate and above to hear employment matters for employees earning Kenya shillings 80,000 and above. This had the immediate effect of reducing cases filed in the court by more than 50%. For example, in 2017-2018 financial year, a total of 5,645 cases were filed in court. In the following year, after the magistrates started handling employment matters, that is 2018-2019, we had only 2,644 cases filed. This was less than 50% of what had been filed the previous year. Of course, this means that the court can now move faster in handling cases of the court. These numbers have gradually increased, and in the last financial year, that is 2021-2022, a total of 3,518 cases were filed. The court also embraced a multi-door approach to access to justice to decongest the registries. One such approach was reference of matters to court-annexed mediation. Between 2018 and 2021, a total of 433 cases were referred to court-annexed mediation, out of which 330 cases were processed. Of these, 141 cases consents in 141 cases consents were recorded, while 175 cases reached a stalemate. Between July 2021 and June 2022, the court referred 154 cases for mediation, out of which 131 cases were successfully cleared, bringing to 85% success rate, meaning that court-annexed mediation, take-up of court-annexed mediation has improved tremendously in the court. The court has also developed a policy to screen all cases for mediation before directions are taken for hearing. So any matter that can be resolved through mediation is referred to mediation before hearing, and we hope that this will further improve the uptake of mediation. The court further continued to refer matters to the labor officers in cases where such officers have jurisdiction under either the Employment Act or the Labor Relations Act. My lady, under the Labor Relations Act, there is compulsory conciliation, so that all cases that are brought by by trade unions are supposed to be first reported as disputes to the Minister for Labor and presided over by a conciliator appointed by the Minister for Labor, and they are only supposed to come to our court when they are unable to agree. Our Act, the Employment and Labor Relations Act, even provides that whenever cases are brought to our court without passing through conciliation, we are supposed to send them back, to stay the case and send the parties back for conciliation. So it means that the court it has embraced alternative dispute resolution, both through court-annexed mediation and through the compulsory conciliation under the Labor Relations Act. Another initiative adopted for case clearance was service weeks. We had mini service weeks in Nairobi, where priority was given to all cases for 2 weeks. During the mini service weeks, the courts did not hear any other matters apart from certificates. And this was last year. Previously, we have had many other service weeks through which quite a good number of cases have been heard. My lady will also recall that when our new judges were appointed in 2021, we made a request that they sit in Nairobi over the August 2021 court recess for 2 weeks. During this period, the judges handled a total of 667 cases, thus further reducing backlog in our court. Out of these, 206 cases were concluded, 55 part heard, 65 dismissed, and dates were given in most of the other cases. The cases that they were hearing were all older than 3 years. The court has also taken several initiatives to streamline the registry to enhance service delivery. In this regard, we identified dormant files and issued notices to show cause. A number of cases were, as a result, dismissed for want of prosecution. A policy has now been put in place for continuous screening of dormant files to ensure that all files in our registries are active. Courts now conduct quarterly case audits to bring up dormant files for directions or dismissal after notification to the parties. We have also ensured that all files have dates and that all the cases are given priority in fixing of dates. To ensure high productivity of judges, we have also minimized mentions before judges, and we take most mentions before the deputy registrar so that judges can concentrate on hearing cases to enhance fast tracking of cases. My lady, missing files is another menace that has negatively impacted on justice and caused unnecessary adjournments. We have, in the Employment and Labor Relations Court, minimized missing files through continuous updating of the case tracking and e-filing platforms. We ensure that information is keyed into the systems on a daily basis once files are brought from court. The current status and location of files is recorded, and we have a file tracking register. We monitor this in all our registries when we go for supervisory visits, that is the PJ and the registrar. In the last PMMU review for the court, only 0.06% of adjournments were caused by missing files. So it means that it's almost negligible. My lady, we have further ensured that all registries separate concluded files from pending files. We ensure that access to the registry is limited to staff only and that our customers are served at the counter. Sensitive files are kept in strong rooms under lock and key. Different colors are used for each type of case, that is color coding, to enhance a fast retrieval of cases and identification of misplaced files. As a result of all these initiatives, the court was able to reduce pending cases by 15% from 14,040 as at 30th June 2021 to 11,943 as at 30th June 2022. And my lady, I'm told that this was the highest clearance in the whole of the judiciary. During the same period, the court reduced backlog from 11,220 to 10,120. This is cases which are over 12 months old were reduced by that percent. That was a 10%, a reduction of 10%. Currently, cases over 3 years constitute 32%, while cases between 1 and 3 years constitute 68%. This means that with proper focus and strategy, the court will be able to clear the bulk of the cases over 3 years within the next 1 year. And I believe that is one of the assignments that the new principal judge is going to handle. I have proposed to the incoming PJ to create divisions in Nairobi so that one division can concentrate in dealing with the old cases while the rest deal with more current matters. And from January 2023, the court will be having 12 judges, so it will be very easy to create divisions in the court. My lady, on stakeholder engagement, we have a functional customer care desk, a vibrant bar bench and court users committee, and my lady, the speakers, the members of the bar bench and the court users committee have attested to that. We have frequent meetings, we have an open door system, we even have a WhatsApp group where they can post any issues they have, whether it's a missing file, whether it's whatever issue it is, whether it's any staff who is not being useful to them, whether it's access to the e-portal, they have access to numbers which they can call and get assistance immediately. We have a complaints register in every court. The court administrator checks the complaints at the end of each day. The action taken by the court on the complaints received is recorded in the status column. Collaboration with the Office of the Judiciary Ombudsman is also enhanced. The court, the deputy registrars collaborate with the office in responding to complaints. Through these efforts, we have managed to resolve many issues raised by our stakeholders. Another initiative that has assisted in reducing adjournments of cases is improved case clearance in notification of hearing dates in good time by publishing course lists 7 days in advance. It is a standard requirement that all pleadings must have full contact particulars of parties, and this has minimized non-attendance and adjournments. My lady, the other objectives that the court has adopted are a registry operation manual, service delivery charter, which we have also translated into Kiswahili to make it accessible to Wanjiku. We have finalized and published the court's strategic plan for 2021 to 2025. We have developed the booklet on the Employment and Labor Relations Code, a journey through history. My lady, that is what we just handed over to you. We have the employment, we have had inns of court, open days, suggestion boxes, collaboration with ESCE for staff training and sensitization on integrity. We have introduced PJ's awards in court to encourage best performing staff in various aspects such as performance, innovation, etiquette, and even dressing. So the best dressed lady, the best dressed gentleman among the staff is commended and given a certificate. The best performing employee is commended and given a certificate. We give them a very small token and a certificate, and this has created a lot of competition. People want to dress well, people want to be the best performer, people want innovation. Everybody is trying to innovate so that they can earn the certificates. We have used social media platforms to engage the public in a program dubbed Learn More About the Employment and Labor Relations Code. In Twitter campaigns, we opened a Facebook page where course lists and public announcements are made and shared with our stakeholders. We have held meetings between the Employment and Labor Relations Court and magistrates handling employment matters so that we can share issues of jurisprudence. We have also done the same with the Court of Appeal. And indeed, there was one that we were supposed to have this month that we didn't have because there was no judge of the Court of Appeal available, and we have fixed it for 1st of December. And I believe that my brother will run with it so that on 1st of December, our court will be meeting with a judge of the Court of Appeal to discuss jurisprudence. I believe that the chair of Nairobi Law Society is happy to hear that. My lady, we have also strengthened our financial management mechanisms. Our absorption rate of allocated funds is very high. We have collaborated with IDLO and JPIP to assist where the funds of the judiciary are not able to cover. And the court has implemented audit recommendations every time. My lady, we have also developed indigenous social jurisprudence, and my lady, there have not been any industrial strikes over the past few years, except the recent one by Kenya Airways pilots, which was very ably resolved by Justice Anna Mwaure just this week. I'm sure everyone saw it in the papers. My lady, we have also had continuous training of judges. I will not read the details to save on time. I have prepared a long list, a handing over list, a detailed handing over list, which I'm going to share with the incoming principal judge. My lord, in every institution, we cannot miss challenges, and as I'm handing over, I will just mention a few of the challenges. Funding, I know that is an ever-present challenge. I will not say much about it, but we are hoping that with the goodwill of the president, if he makes his promise, if we get those funds, this will be minimized. The second is space. Milimani Commercial Court is packed. We have 3 different courts there. We have the Small Claims Court, we have the Employment and Labor Relations Court, and we have the Magistrates Court. And I know when we moved into the building, the magistrates were actually occupying the whole of it. We had to move them out, so they are so squeezed where they occupy. I'm hoping that when this is resolved, I'm aware that the Supreme Court, the Court of Appeal, all of us don't have space. And but when these are resolved, the Employment and Labor Relations Court will also have space. We have also shortage of researchers. When our new judges were appointed, no researchers were appointed. We have 5 researchers for the 11 judges in the station currently. We have shortage of court administrators. And my lady, I cannot leave this podium without talking about the challenges of WIBA. There are a lot of challenges. I don't want to go into it. I hope that soon there will be amendments in the Act itself to resolve these challenges. Currently, everybody is groping in the dark because the Act does not provide for execution of the order. Some people file in the magistrates' court, some people file in our court. Some of us send them back. Some of the magistrates send them to us. So there is a lot of confusion. And the law doesn't say anything. So we can't say we are right or we are wrong, or the magistrates are right or they are wrong, because the law is silent. My lady, before I finish in summing up, I want to thank the people I have worked with in our court. I want to especially recognize the Honorable Candidate, the registrar. We have worked very closely with him. If it was not for him, a lot of the achievements that the court has seen would not have happened. I always joke with him that he is allergic to failure. So give him an assignment, he will run with it. So, Honorable Candidate, I commend you. I also want to commend Daisy Mutai, Noel Chania, and Honorable Mumanyi, the Deputy Registrars. I want to commend you all for the good work you have done for the court. We have worked very well with all of you. I also want to thank my office manager, Deborah Munyange. My lady, this girl, I will call her a girl because she's old enough to be my daughter. Whenever I tell her that I'm going to work on a public holiday, I will find her in the office. I tell her I'm going to work on a Sunday, I will find her in the office. I'm leaving the office at 11 o'clock because I have to finish a judgment. Deborah will not leave me in the office. In most cases, I leave her in the office. Sometimes I have to get her out of the office to tell her because, it's too late for a young lady like her to be still out at that hour. So I want to commend her. I also want to commend Daniel, my court assistant. Daniel is fantastic with handling our customers. She protects me. He protects me. He protects our customers. He's very good at handling litigants and all those advocates who are so angry, screaming. I never hear about it. They also don't know what happens on the other side of the chambers. So Daniel, if you are here, thank you, and keep it up. The other person I want to commend is my researcher, Sheila Obiayo. She has been with me during those times when we must finish a file come what may. Sometimes I am so short-tempered, she has always remained calm. So I thank you. Finally, I want to thank my colleagues for having allowed me to be your prefect for those years. We have had many good achievements. We have also had our dark days, but you know, in Ecclesiastes it is said that there is a time for everything. There is that time when you celebrate, there is that day when you quarrel, and it is human to do so. I want to thank you for cooperating with me. I also want to thank my lady, the Chief Justice and the Deputy Chief Justice, for the support you have given to the office. I can say I have enjoyed my work as PJ, although it had very many challenges. To the incoming principal judge, I want to leave you with a quote from Isaiah 41:10. Do not fear anything, for I am with you. Do not be afraid, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Be assured, I will help you. I will certainly take hold of you with my righteous hand, a hand of justice, of power, of victory, of salvation. Judge, be blessed. God help Kenya. God help the judiciary. Thank you for listening to my not very short speech.
Wow, wow, wow. Judge Onyango, please remain on the stage. Just let's give her a clap. She has been able to take us through all the moments she has been in that office. Some very good, some not good, but you have prevailed, and that's why here we are celebrating you as you exit that stage, and Judge Onyango or Judge Ongaya coming in at this time. Maybe Judge Onyango did not tell you one incident that happened to us one moment. We woke up one morning and there were a heap of files in our chambers. The Honorable Chief Justice Maraga had instructed that all the judges, they were pending files, around 600, and he said that they should be divided equally amongst all the judges. So when I came in the morning, I couldn't even open my door. There were 100 files on the floor. I asked my secretary, what is happening? And she said, this is your share of the backlog. And we took it in our strides. We were told to handle the backlog from October to 31st of December. And we ably did it. We managed to clear those 600 files. Other than the 600, we still had our normal cost list, and we managed. So you have taken us through a nice time of leadership, and we appreciate you so much. The challenges of leading not so very easy judges, you managed. When I learned my jurisprudence, I was told that for a judge, there is no difficult case. So there was no difficult case that you encountered. You did it well, and we appreciate you. Allow me at this stage to invite Emeritus the First on the stage. The Honorable Justice Nderi, please come on the stage. That is our inaugural PJ, whom we elected in 2012. He served us very well and handed over to Justice Onyango in 2017. When Justice Nderi took over, there was no history of what should be done by a PJ, but he took it in his strides, and the court did not collapse. So much has happened, and Judge Onyango took over. So it is my pleasure and my privilege, the Honorable the Chief Justice, to also request you to take the podium so that you can be able to commend this lady and this lady and this gentleman for the work that they have done for the court for the last 10 years. 10 years. We are over 10 years old, and we just want to ask you to commend them in your own words. So welcome, the Honorable the Chief Justice. Karibu.
Thank you very much, Judge Wasirwa. This is the Chief Justice's commendation in honor of Honorable Mr. Justice Matthews Nderi Nduma, MBS, our inaugural Principal Judge, Employment and Labor Relations Court. I commend your lordship for outstanding service and leadership as the inaugural Principal Judge of the Employment and Labor Relations Court. Your lordship played a critical role in institutionalizing the court in its formative years, building a strong foundation upon which the court is now anchored. As a result of your exemplary management, the court has carved out a formidable reputation as the ultimate protector of labor rights and relations as enshrined under Article 41 of the Constitution of Kenya. Therefore, on behalf of the judiciary and the entire legal fraternity, and even the customers that we serve, our partners, I acclaim your lordship for your exceptional commitment to steer the court through its years of inception in fulfillment of the constitutional promise of access to justice for all. I also declare your lordship, Honorable Mr. Justice Matthews Derry Nduma, a champion of social transformation through access to justice.
Let us give a clap to Justice Derry as he received that commendation. Well, congratulations, Justice Derry. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Next, the Chief Justice will request that you also give him a sash. Sorry, a sash, yes, for his service as a PJ Emeritus, the first. Let's give it a clap. Let's give a clap to Justice Derry. That is a sash for being our first PJ. Congratulations, Justice Derry. And last but not least, Honorable Chief Justice, please, if you could give him a certificate for service. Thank you, Justice Derry, and congratulations once more. Thank you, thank you. Okay, thank you so much. As Justice Derry is just staying aside, we want now to get to Justice Maureen Onyango. Your Honorable Chief Justice, kindly allow us to hear you comment Honorable Justice Maureen Onyango for her work as our Principal Judge. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Judge. This is in honor of Rende Justice Maureen Onyango, our outgoing Principal Judge of the Employment and Labor Relations Court. I commend your leadership for outstanding service and leadership as the Principal Judge of the Employment and Labor Relations Court. Your leadership has exhibited exceptional commitment to the principles and values of leadership outlined in the Constitution, and you have achieved outstanding results evident in the high case clearance rate and people-centered reputation achieved by the court during your tenure. On behalf of the entire judiciary, the legal fraternity, the litigants that we serve, and indeed our partners, I acclaim your leadership for your outstanding commitment and unabated dedication to fulfill the constitutional assurance of access to justice for all. And now, on behalf of all of us, I do declare your leadership a champion of social transformation through access to justice. Thank you.
Congratulations to Justice Onyango. Let's give a clap to her for that commendation. Very beautiful words that the Honorable the Chief Justice has been able to say about her. Indeed, we appreciate. And Justice Onyango, congratulations once more. And next to your ladyship, the Honorable the Chief Justice, is the sash for Honorable Onyango as PJ. Congratulations once more for that achievement, for serving. Look at that hug. That is a lady's hug. Yes. And I'm sure Justice Dare will be saying, what happened to me? I didn't get that hug. Oh. I may use my powers as the one organizing this portion, or that you can go and get that hug from the Honorable the Chief Justice. Thank you so much. And last and not least is the certificate of achievement from the Chief Justice. Congratulations once more, and may God bless you as you continue to. Thank you so much, the Honorable Chief Justice, for taking us through that portion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chief Justice. Thank you very much, my lady, Honorable Justice Helen Wasilo. Indeed, for leading us so colorfully and for making our spirits indeed so light and so colorful through that session. Thank you very, very much, and congratulations to Emeritus PJ the first and Emeritus PJ the second, soon to be. Allow me now to welcome the Deputy Chief Registrar of the Judiciary, Honorable Paul Ndamo, to lead us in the next session, which is the installation ceremony. Welcome, Your Honor.
Thank you very much, the Master of Ceremony, the Honorable the Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya and the President of the Supreme Court, the Honorable Lady Justice Martha Koome, the Honorable Lady Justice Philomena Mbete Mwilu, the Deputy Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya and the Vice President of the Supreme Court, the Honorable Justice Smokin Wanjala, who is the Director of the Kenya Judiciary Academy and who was also the presiding officer over the elections of the Employment and Labor Relations Court in the just concluded elections, the Principal Judge, Justice Maureen Onyango. Honorable Chief Justice, allow me to adopt the protocols already very well laid out by the Master of Ceremony at the beginning of this very auspicious occasion. Allow me to welcome you to this very solemn yet joyous occasion when we witness the installation of the Principal Judge of the Employment and the Labor Relations Court. Article 165(2) of the Constitution provides that there shall be a Principal Judge of the High Court who shall be elected by judges of the High Court from among themselves. Section 5 of the Employment and the Labor Relations Act establishes a similar office of the Principal Judge of the ELRC to be elected from among judges of the court in similar fashion as the High Court. The office of Principal Judge fell vacant after the Honorable Lady Justice Maureen Onyango completed her 5-year tenure. Elections for a new Principal Judge were held on the 19th of October 2022 when Honorable Justice BYRAM ONGAYA was elected as the Principal Judge in elections that were presided over by the Director of the Kenya Judiciary Academy, as I have just mentioned. With your very kind permission now, Honorable Chief Justice, I'd like to ask for you to come to the podium, as well as the Honorable Justice BYRAM ONGAYA, so that we can proceed with the ceremony. Thank you. Thank you. I now call upon the Honorable Justice BYRAM ONGAYA to take his oath of office, following which he will also sign the roll of the Principal Judges of the Employment and the Labor Relations Court.
I, Mr. Justice BYRAM ONGAYA, having been elected under Section 5(2) of the Employment and Labor Relations Court Act 2011 as the Principal Judge of the Employment and Labor Relations Court of Kenya, and having previously taken the oath of office of Judge of the Employment and Labor Relations Court of Kenya, do hereby solemnly swear the said oath, and now do swear in the name of the Almighty God to faithfully and diligently serve the people and the Republic of Kenya in the office of the Principal Judge of the Employment and Labor Relations Court of Kenya, that I undertake to hold my office as Principal Judge with honor and dignity, that I will be a true and faithful counselor to the Honorable Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya for the good management of the affairs of the Employment and Labor Relations Court of Kenya, of the affairs of the Employment and Labor Relations Court of Kenya, judicial arm of the Republic of Kenya, that I shall duly consult with the Chief Registrar of the Judiciary, that I will not divulge directly or indirectly such matters as shall come to my knowledge in the discharge of my duties, and committed to my secrecy, except as may be required for the due discharge of my duties as the Principal Judge, and that I will perform the functions of the office conscientiously and to the best of my ability in accordance with this Constitution, as by law established, and the laws and customs of the Republic, without any fear, favor, bias, affection, ill will, prejudice, or any political, religious, or other influence. So help me God.
After the Principal Judge signs the oath, he will also sign the role of the Principal Judges of the Employment and Labor Relations Court. The Honorable the Chief Justice will also append her signature to the oath. Thank you very much. The oaths have now been signed. I will ask kindly the Principal Judge to now come and receive them from the Honorable the Chief Justice in symbolic fashion. Let's come to the podium, please. Thank you. Honorable Chief Justice, Honorable Chief Justice, kindly, before you descend down the podium, sorry, we have one short ceremony to hand over the instruments of power for the Principal Judge. So the Honorable the Chief Justice will hand over a copy of the Constitution, That will be the first document. We'll then have, together with the ELRC labor laws, together with the court's policy documents, those will be handed over by the Honorable Chief Justice to the incoming principal judge. Together with that, we also have the court's crest and the ELRC's booklet for the incoming principal judge. So that is the whole compendium of the booklets and material. Thank you. So now this is the crest of the Employment and the Labor Relations Court. Thank you. Thank you very much. And finally, the sash for the principal judge. Thank you very much. And congratulations, Principal Judge. Thank you very much, the Honorable Chief Justice. You may now have your seat, and I now hand over the meeting back to the Honorable Justice Wasilwa to proceed. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that vestment. We are very grateful to the Almighty God for this far. Allow me at this particular time to be the very first judge of the ELRC to congratulate you, Honorable ONGAYA, on your inauguration as our principal judge, and please request you not to sit down. Okay, you can test that seat first. And you can see the ceremony has moved. Judge Onyango has given up the seat, and Judge ONGAYA, you are now in the seat. Congratulations, Judge. And can I allow me please to take you back to the podium so that you can now be able to give us your inaugural speech as our principal judge. Welcome, Judge ONGAYA. Thank you.
My Lady Chief Justice, my Lady the Deputy Chief Justice, my Lord Director, Kenya's Judiciary Academy, all protocols observed, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My Lady Chief Justice, I thank everyone involved in arranging this beautiful ceremony. I thank all of you for your presence today. I thank the Almighty God for continuing grace manifested in this beautiful day. Our constitutional role as a state officer is to serve the people. We are servants of the people. The people have vested in us trust to serve them. I most sincerely thank my sister and brother honorable judges of the Employment and Labor Relations Court of Kenya for the trust and confidence shown by electing me to serve in the office of Principal Judge of the Court. As pillars of the Court, the honorable judges have collectively and individually resolved to uphold the constitutional values and principles of excellent judicial delivery. Honest, humility, magnanimity, transparency, and transparent consultations, teamwork, peer review, respect, impartiality, independence, and unending collegiality are all virtues we cherish. The authority and responsibility of the office of the principal judge is on urgency and shared basis within the Honorable Chief Justice's vision, pillar of inclusiveness and shared leadership. It is therefore the judge's shared authority and responsibility. I stand by a true sense of purpose, objectivity, and devoid of self-centeredness. I recognize that it is a great honor to serve colleagues and country with honor. I will take honorable judges' opinion with due seriousness and respect. It is possible to be impactful beyond the ordinary by genuinely doing ordinary things that honestly matter to meet the genuine great expectations in the office of principal judge. Collegial views therefore hold on priority through transparent, honest, and selfless consultation and action. It is now a decade since the Employment and Labor Relations Court of Kenya was established as one of the superior courts of record under the Constitution of Kenya 2010. The judges of the court have continued to work consistently to ensure they diligently and impartially serve the country in the pursuit to improve the judiciary. The judges have undertaken their duties with great vigor and passion, applying the relevant constitutional, statutory, international, common law, and equitable principles of justice. The review of employment and labor relationships by an independent and impartial court is critical to the peace and economic productivity of our nation and the attainment of the Vision 2030. The disputes that are brought to the court are at the core of Kenya's socio-economic development. The court is therefore a crucial institution contributing to the realization of our national development and prosperity. The court has attained milestones as led by its PJ1 and PJ2, the Honorable Mr. Justice Matthews Duma and My Lady Justice Maureen Onyango, respectively. I thank the Honorable Chief Justice and the Judicial Service Commission for the expansion and continued better resourcing of the Employment and Labor Relations Court of Kenya towards more accessibility and efficient delivery of justice. The number of judges of the court, as we've been briefed earlier, has grown from 12 in 2012 to the current 21, and PJ2 has elaborated the stations in which we have presence in our country. The expansion of the court for more accessibility and efficient service delivery is a continuing agenda. A priority need is provision of better and sufficient office space and courtroom facilities for the honorable judges and our officers. Within the framework of the judicial vision of social transformation through access to justice, our stakeholders have valid expectations. The litigants expect simple procedures in filing the suits. They expect prompt and priority hearing dates, and the courts to sit when scheduled to do so. They expect to be notified in time of the eventuality that a scheduled court session will not take place. They expect the court files to be readily available and with all documents on record. They expect expeditious hearing of disputes and delivery of judgments or rulings. They need accurately drawn orders and decrees. They need typed and certified proceedings to be provided promptly. They expect ethical service delivery blended with integrity, professionalism, accountability, and absence of favoritism. All these are legitimate expectations that we purpose to continuously satisfy. The judiciary has instituted the use of ICT, such as in e-filing of cases, e-case tracking system, e-diaries, e-course lists, and now virtual court proceedings. Such are strategies we purpose to continuously apply and seek to improve upon towards meeting our litigants' expectations. We will seek to improve the design of our service delivery requirements, standards, procedures, tools, and systems to be more user-friendly and more accountable. We will seek to embrace universal and reasonable accommodation designs and that mainstream special needs, such as of persons with disabilities, the elderly, children, and others. We will seek to continuously document the systems of our service delivery for ease, reference, application, and improvement. The litigants come to court for justice. They expect justice to be manifested in the decisions pronounced by the court. The disputes that are brought to the court are about employment, labor relations, and related matters such as formulation, implementation, interpretation, or application of employment policies and laws. The disputes include those about the right to fair labor practices as enshrined in Article 41 of our Constitution. The disputes entail constitutional and statutory provisions and the established workplace conventions or usages that give effect to the elaboration set out in the Constitution or promote fairness at work. Fairness at work includes provisions for basic fair treatment of employees, procedures for collective representation at work, and of late, policies that enhance family life while making it easier for men, women, and persons with disabilities to go to work. There are many emergent trends of the new work environment that impact on the employment relationships and the fast-changing nature of work environments. Such trends include working from home, working virtually, foreign contracts of service, multi-employer-employee relationships, invisible, remote, or undisclosed employer or employee arrangements, and more employee discretion like automatic sick leave in event of symptoms of COVID-19. You just call your employer and say, I feel something in my throat, so I'll not go to work. So the employees have that discretion. These are all new areas of complex disputes that are brought to the court with dynamic employee rights and employer obligations. Others are new perspectives in traditional workplace arrangements, such as rights for gang workers, piece rate workers, workers for specially designed employers, such as in diplomatic immunities and religious organizations, arrangements in outsourced labor, arrangements for outsourced human resource management, arrangements in event of transfer of business, or commonly known as under new management, and new and complex pay and benefit arrangements. Others are designs of employment relationship that respond to fluidity of availability of work and sudden profound impacts of science, innovation, technology, to availability, nature, and scope of work. The other emergent areas, especially in service in state or public office, include notions around the demise or chaining of the pleasure doctrine, application of principles of inclusion and affirmative action, merit, competition, and ideals of fair opportunities in employment, and the extent of rigidity, flexibility, and responsive institutional designs in delivery of human resource functions. Others include systems on social protection, employee support, counseling and rehabilitation systems, policies that promote work-life balance and employee well-being, confinement, denial, reduction, or withholding of separation or retirement benefits or pensions, dynamics of workplace personal disclosures, and the right to privacy. Other issues are around policies and laws that chain employees' prerogative in applying salary or wage as freely as they wish. All these are employee concerns that constitute a rainbow of issues that are brought to the Employment and Labor Relations Court for determination. On the other hand, employers are vested with the prerogative to determine their staffing establishments, determining the scope and nature of their undertaking or enterprise, determining their operational requirements and policies, and to freely reorganize the enterprise for better economy, productivity, or even any other purpose like closing down. The employers expect to perform human resource management functions with least interference. The disputes brought before the court are initiated as ordinary actions, constitutional petitions for enforcement of rights, fundamental freedoms, and other constitutional provisions about employment and labor relations and governance, judicial review matters, trade disputes, appeals from magistrates' courts, appeals from the Director of Occupational Safety and Health, DOSH, appeals from the Registrar of Trade Unions, economic disputes, as well as registration of CBS. A fast-growing area of litigation in the court is in the sphere of leadership, governance, and accountability in employer associations and trade unions. The court will continue to strive to grow appropriate indigenous jurisprudence towards just and proportionate decisions that purpose to balance the employers' and employees' legitimate expectations for fair employment relationships. It is fair employment relationships that will assure peaceful work environment necessary for high productivity, just incomes, fair labor practices, and our national prosperity. The court strives for just and proportionate win-win determinations that nourish employee-employer symbiotic coexistence. It is a goal the court is called upon to consistently and competently achieve. We commit to continue working closely with the judiciary leadership, the Honorable Chief Justice, for enhanced role in the budget-making process towards optimal resourcing of the court, such as in the area of the already mentioned court and office facilities. We will continue working with the judiciary leadership and relevant stakeholders for enhanced donor funding to support the achievement of the court's mission. We will embrace initiatives such as specific publications, law reports, and collections of the judicial opinions about employment and labor relations for consistent development of the court's jurisprudence and access by the courts, members of the bar, scholars, employees, employers, litigants, and others. We will build close synergies with the schools of law, professional bodies, relevant public agencies, and stakeholder actors in diverse communities towards legitimate involvement in sharing jurisprudential experiences and communicating the role of the Employment and Labor Relations Court of Kenya. We will purpose to cooperate and work with all our internal and external stakeholders. Such cooperation and blending should work to enhance our jurisprudence through necessary publications such as bench books, continuous learning, or reviews, and relevant legislative reforms or improving policies which affect our delivery. In a big way, that should enhance our judicial service delivery and visibility. Our times here should then be truly memorable to the nation, and our judicial output and other experiences should be duly documented in appropriate publications and with full involvement of our judiciary leadership and stakeholders. The outcome should be readily available resource materials for unlocking and continuously improving our national human capital, which is a mandatory factor of production. We dedicate to work together towards developing or improving relevant operational procedures, standards, forms, and processes for better optimal service delivery, especially by our judiciary staff and registries. We are dedicated to continue supporting, participating in, and improving the design and implementation of existing accountability structures or systems, such as performance contracting, strategic planning, customer satisfaction service, employee satisfaction service, service delivery charters, use of ICT, leadership and management teams, LMT, court user committees, CUC, registry manuals, bar bench committees, service weeks, workload monitoring and evaluation, open days, exhibitions, and others. We will take initiatives to support and enhance the court's judges' continuing role of leadership, mentoring, coaching, and motivating of our staff and stakeholders in their diversities so as to attain their valid expectations. We commit to initiate the comprehensive review and improvement of the court's procedure rules towards enhanced access as well as just, expeditious, and proportionate resolution of disputes that are brought to the court. We will, through participation and consultations, initiate rules of procedure for litigation structures and processes that are more responsive to litigants' needs, as well as the court's efficiency and effectiveness. We will initiate further rules that enhance the role of the registrar, the deputy registrars, and the running of registries that we believe will go a long way in freeing more time from the honorable judges to focus on hearing of disputes and drawing of judgments and rulings. The rules of procedure, being the engine of the rate and efficiency of delivery of justice, their continuous improvement constitute the wider strategies and interventions to ensure the efficiency of the litigation processes for expeditious disposal of disputes. A priority focus will be to eliminate backlog through innovative measures, such as in areas of best use of judicial time, sound case management, and judicial docket management. We will as well continue encouraging litigants to embrace alternative dispute resolution processes, such as statutory conciliation, court-annexed mediation, and strategic negotiations, and others. We will seek to rely upon relevant judicial opinions by our superior courts towards improving the rules and, more important, proposing such appropriate statutory reforms and amendments that will enhance sound delivery of justice by the court and generally for more access to justice and fairness in the area of employment laws. In that way, the court should help position the judiciary as a vehicle of continuous positive national agenda for legislative reforms and dialogue. A healthy, systemic, and symbiotic relationship of the three arms of government should be possible for a robust republic, whereby the relevant laws and policies keep pace with the just findings, interpretations, and the pronouncements by our courts. As a court, we do have our own expectations, aspirations, fears, and concerns. We know at times things can go wrong, and we'll seek to learn from the mistakes. We will receive complaints in good faith and seek to genuinely address them promptly. We will implement a simple and prompt system for grievance management. It is motivating to receive compliments towards redoubling our efforts. We expect compliments to be made with the same vigor as compliments may be forwarded. With humility, we will seek to sustain and even improve in areas you will compliment us about. I say we do need genuine motivation, encouragement, and positive feedback as appropriate or justified. We expect litigants to comply with timelines set in the court's rules of procedure and the court's directions, without which expeditious delivery of justice will become elusive. We expect court orders to be obeyed voluntarily as the ultimate outcome of the justice system. Where there is impossibility, ambiguity, or difficulty during compliance or implementation of an order, we expect the litigant to promptly move the court for a clarification or appropriate variation. We know decisions may not always be a win-win outcome, and it is human for a litigant to receive court determination that, in their view, is a very unpleasant outcome. There is always room for review or appeal with respect to the court's decisions, and which can be invoked rather than unfair or malicious attack of the court. We seek cooperation, support, and open conversations to improve our performance. We expect constructive criticism, demonstrated with specific examples as constructive feedback for us to improve in identified respects. We expect our stakeholders to help us identify areas for our continuous improvement. As already observed, we expect provision of optimal resources consistent with our judicial roles and delivery on our stakeholders' legitimate expectations. We therefore expect all of us to work together as one towards achieving justice for all who seek it from the court. As already pointed out, The role of the principal judge is a shared role of all judges of the court. It is exercisable through the honorable judge's continuous consultation and collegiality for the common good of the court and the judiciary. The role is collectively earned with a collective responsibility to deliver on the mandate of the judiciary. I do not feel lonely, but I feel energized because I am ready to serve in a supportive and cooperative team. Through our cooperation and support, together we can achieve the greatest milestones. I see a brighter, successful future in our pursuit of justice for all persons. I bank on the support and cooperation of all our stakeholders. I trust with your support, justice will be the true shield and defender of our employers, employees, and all persons. It is a goal we can together achieve as anchored upon the Honorable Chief Justice's vision of social transformation through access to justice and predicated on accessibility and efficiency, transparency and accountability, inclusiveness and shared leadership, cooperative dialogue, and social justice. I thank the Honorable Chief Justice for her assurance of full support and that there should be no doubt that the court will function as a court of excellence in service delivery. The Honorable Chief Justice, the Honorable Deputy Chief Justice, my brother and sister judges, ladies and gentlemen, I am most humbled to address you on this special ceremony of installation and assumption of office of Principal Judge of Employment and Labor Relations Court of Kenya. I sincerely thank you for your presence, patience, and attention. I hope you have got a revival to reflect, to cooperate, and to support our judicial service delivery. Together we have resolved as a people that justice shall be our shield and defender. Let us all stand, walk, and deliver for justice. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, our Principal Judge, Justice ONGAYA, we'll be able to ask you to account on all the promises that you have given us in the near future. So please, before you leave the podium, I request you to kindly invite the Honorable Deputy Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya to address us at this auspicious occasion. Karibu sana. Thank you.
Thank you. It is with humility and honor that I invite my lady, the Deputy Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya, to address us. Thank you.
The Honorable the Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya, the Honorable Martha Karambu Kome, the Honorable Mr. Justice Smokin Wanjala, today I hear you are being called the Director of the Judiciary Academy, where I know you are also called the Headmaster of our school. The Honorable PJ of the ELRC Court, my brother and sister judges, from that point, allow me to inherit the already established protocol at the beginning of today's ceremony. This is the day that the Lord has made, and I'm told that the Bible says we shall do something in it. Which is that something? We shall rejoice and be glad in it. And if it wasn't for God's doing, we wouldn't be here. At least I know that. And so I ask, we have been sitting for the last almost 3 hours. I ask that we be upstanding, 1, to stretch ourselves, and 2, to acknowledge this God that makes things possible in a way that only He makes them possible. And before we can congratulate our brother, thank God for being here. And so, the choir master shall be the Honorable Mr. Justice Smokin Wanjala. But I shall start the song. And the song is one that we all know. We want to be the one leper that came back to say thank you. We want to acknowledge God's greatness. And we want to tell him asante sana for making it possible for us to be here. And so, shall we start by acknowledging his greatness and say that is the Alpha and the Omega. Wewe ni Alpha na Omega. Wewe ni Alpha na Omega, ewe Mungu wa. Wewe ni Alpha na Omega, wewe ni Alpha na Omega, wewe ni Alpha na Omega, ewe Mungu wa. Twasema, twasema, twasema asante, ewe Mungu wangu. Thank you very much. Those who do not feel sufficiently energized, this is the moment to stretch and then sit down. You will notice from our programs that I'm not supposed to give a speech, and I am not supposed to give an address. I am supposed to make remarks. And so a beautiful speech I had written, upon seeing the program, I left it at home. And so I make my remarks. I hear they are off cuff. But whatever way you want to look at them, here goes. The principal judge of the ELRC, it is day 1 of your 5 years in the leadership of this court, if God allows it to last 5 years. By that mere election, you have been elevated to the judiciary leadership team, which is chaired by the Honorable the Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya and the President of the Supreme Court. I have heard you swear that you are going to give correct counsel to the Chief Justice. You will consort. Judge Helen just picked the words from my mouth, because I was going to tell you here, I was listening carefully, you know I do, and I will get a copy of your speech after this, because at the end of 5 years, God giving us life, and all of us being here, and if I won't be here, as I keep saying, I'll tweet from wherever I'll be, that you accomplished your promises to justice seekers. Now, Judge, I know myself, because your jurisprudential reputation precedes you. What I don't know about you is leadership. But you know, one of the easiest things I know myself is to be a team leader, because you don't do it alone. You have all those many judges there to consult before you ever get to the Chief Justice. And I'm glad you said you cannot succeed alone, because the truth is, alone, you will fail so very badly. But if you go with this team, you've already made your first step to success. And so I wish you well as I congratulate you today on your main day, and as you ascend to the leadership of the Wool Institution. Principal Judge, I had the honor earlier this week, to address the accountants of Kenya. And I told them that one of the things, because we all know this, that ails this country, this economy, is corruption. And I urged them to do the right thing. I urged them to detect and to do something about instances of corruption, instances of wrongdoing, and do something about it. And so I thought I was speaking very well until the question time came. And when it came, they said, you can say all you want to say from the podium. But you know, when we do the right thing, we expose ourselves to the danger of losing our jobs. And so I say to myself, how can that be a danger when we have the ELRC court? And so in answer to their concerns, I told them, good people, in the judiciary you have a real partner. And that partner comes in the way of the ELC court, which everybody gathered here knows is called the workers' court. Am I wrong? We are inclined towards protecting the weaker party. Nearly always that weaker party is the employee. You've done very well in that regard. I hope that you will not make ISPAC call me back to say, but you said you would protect us. Because I told them, just do the right thing. Make sure it is the right thing you're doing. Document the right thing, the doing of the right thing, the process. And then when you come to us, we shall give you protection. I have no doubt that the 21 of you will be proud partners of the entire judiciary system in upholding rights, not just of workers, of employers, where the employers are right. Our current vision is what you and Maureen repeated here this morning. And I want to add something to that vision. The social bit about it, and I like the employers' body that said, add to it economic division to your court. I'm glad you're already going division-wise, because from what I heard you say and what Maureen said, I know where that economic bit falls. Now, you're such an important court that you cannot afford to give contradictory judgments. And so I come to the third point, which is that mentoring, PJ, that you want to give to other people, give it to yourselves first. Okay? You as a court, talk to each other, consult. The 7 of us at the Supreme Court, I tell you, that court is a difficult place to be. Before we read a judgment, that judgment is sometimes cancelled in red. It is passed this way, that way, until all 7 of us are in agreement about that judgment. I know here you sit as single judges, but that doesn't take away the responsibility to consult, to rely on precedent, to ensure that the Law Society will not come back here and tell us, hey, what is this you guys are doing? Sasa, where is predictability? Which, by the way, is the last thing the Law Society wants from us. They want to know that a similar case will be decided in a similar manner. So please work on standardizing our jurisprudence. For me, you are the most important court we have next to the Constitutional Court. All courts are important, but look at the things you deal with. The livelihoods of people. Employment is central to our lives. And I'm urging us to remember that every day, that once all the laws and facts and the evidence are in place, you guys deal with an extremely important aspect of our lives, employment. Those labor relations things that you deal with are also critically important. That's what governance is about. And so I want you to see yourselves in the central position where the Constitution has placed you is that one court that deals with both our social transformation, with our economic livelihoods, and please behave as such. Make us proud, make Kenya proud, not just of the judiciary, but of your court. PJ, I have heard of your successes. I've been part of it. I'm surprised that, I don't know whether she was there, Helen, that time when they were given the 100 cases. What they don't know is this, that I was appointed the prefect. At least Maureen knows, because I gave her hell. Thank you, Maureen, for not saying the things you should have said this morning. I camped at their court, and Maureen, thank you for being such a consultative judge. Because in the beginning, and the court will appreciate, we had some teething problems with this court. We were receiving intelligence that all lawyers were saying this and the other. Oh, the jurisprudence is like this and the other. The Court of Appeal was saying, but what's going on here? Last time they said this, they are now saying this. How are we going to deal with the appeal and so on and so forth? And so the Honorable Mr. Justice Maraga appointed me the prefect of the ELC court. You didn't know that, now you know. And so that day when I came to your place, Maureen almost cried, and she followed me to my chambers that afternoon and said, DCJ, kuja pole pole, we are going to correct these things. And they corrected. Helen just said it. And when we gave them the 100 cases, we didn't care about the daily cost list. Because the daily cost list was not, it wasn't mentioned. It was not amended. And therefore, you were expected to go on with the daily cost list. And I recall we collected all of you from all over the country, and you came and we were here at the end of the day to make peace. That lunch, you remember? It was from my pocket. Look, you are great people. And I know that for a fact because I interviewed 9 of you. And you know how rough I can get with these things? But you passed and passed in flying colors because you are good. And therefore, all you need is that small push at the edge. And PJ, thank you. You have spoken well. We all need that push. We all do. The best of us needs usiutulize at those commendations of yours. Compliments come slowly. But, you know, speaking from the office of the Honorable, the Deputy Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya, you have my undiluted support whenever you need it. I wish you well as PJ, and I wish you well as the court. You are a critical court. Always remember that. After those many remarks, it's now my privileged position and honor to ask that, najua, hata mimi nimesikiza a few things here, and we are also politicians, are we not? I shall ask that we be upstanding to welcome the Honorable the Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya and the President of the Supreme Court, the Honorable Martha Karambu Kome, to give us the address for today. Chief Justice Kome.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Lady Justice Philomena Betemwiru, the Deputy Chief Justice. Please, may we be seated. Thank you also for displaying your multiple talents, including leading us to song and dance. Thank you very much. Allow me also to recognize the Honorable Justice Dr. Smokin Wanjara, who conducted this election very, very well. There were no disputes arising from that election, and there was no petition to the Supreme Court. So thank you for doing a very good job. Allow me also to appreciate all of you and really also adopt the list of protocol that was cited here, and say if there was time, I would actually mention each one of you by the name, but in a very, very special way. I want to thank Justice Maureen Onyango, who is our outgoing principal judge, and also welcome most warmly our principal judge, Justice BYRAM ONGAYA. I recognize also our chairman of the Public Service Commission, because something I learned today that actually our new PJ, Justice BYRAM ONGAYA, used to work at the Public Service Commission. So you see the boss there came to see that he did a good job. And the products of the Public Service Commission has come and taken the helm of the leadership of one of our courts. We recognize all of you distinguished guests for the support that you have continued to give us. Allow me also to recognize the family of the judge, Justice BYRAM ONGAYA. I think they are there. I see some members of your family who have come to escort you. We thank them because you have reached where you are because of their support and their love and care. So we value you, and we thank you for supporting our judge. Keep it up. So, Judge, I congratulate you on your election and assumption of office as the principal judge of the Employment and Labor Relations Court. In the same breath, I thank our outgoing principal judge of Employment and Labor Relations Court, Honorable the Justice Maureen Onyango, for your service and leadership to the court for the last 5 years, a period in which Employment and Labor Relations Court has really grown in leaps and bounds, both in terms of the quality of its jurisprudence and in the court performance, as reflected in the impressive case clearance rates that we have recorded as a judiciary. Let me also, in a very special way, recognize our founding principal judge of the ELRC, the Honorable Mr. Justice Matthews Derry Duma, for your stewardship in setting the foundational structures of the court, which you did between 2012 and 2017. All your collective efforts as PJs have yielded a court with a great reputation that is upholding labor rights and obligations. Colleagues, my brother and sister judges, this afternoon, we celebrate a moment of transition in leadership of Employment and Labor Relations Court, which provides an opportunity for us in the judiciary and indeed in the nation to reflect on the critical role played by the ELRC court in ensuring there is access to justice to our people and the realization of our Constitution's vision of establishing a socially just state and society. The ELRC occupies a central place and plays a critical role in our judicial system, and the DCJ has very, very ably articulated this. As a court that exercises specialized jurisdiction over employment and labor matters in the country, The court has a special mandate of advancing the goal of an industrial justice by promoting peace and harmony in our workplaces through a just settlement of disputes between employers and employees. And Principal Judge, I've listened to your speech. You completely understand the place of this court in our society, in our economy, and also in our globalized world. I recognize and applaud the fact that over the last 10 years, during the tenure of our two principal judges, the court has made great strides towards developing a dynamic labor jurisprudence that enables the realization of our social justice and economic growth that ensures that these two national objectives are pursued in a very harmonious manner. This has ensured that our labor law jurisprudence strikes the desired balance of ensuring that the law and the labor practices are not harsh, but that they are humane to the workers of this country, while at the same time ensuring that our country remains a competitive investment destination to our foreign and also our domestic investors. In addition, ladies and gentlemen, my lady judges and colleagues, the ERRC has been gradually improving in service delivery. For example, in the first quarter of the financial year 2022-2023, that is the period that we are reporting now, between the months of July to September 2022, ERRC achieved a case clearance rate of 118%. We need to clap for them, indicating a reduction in pending cases, which signify a great reduction in case backlog. This commendable feat has been achieved through continuous progress that has involved embracing new initiatives geared towards improving the institutional performance, like our automation and leveraging on technology in service delivery, and also in embracing performance management, amongst other tools you have embraced. My brother PJ, Honorable Justice BYRAM ONGAYA, you begin your term as a principal judge when we have embarked on a new quest of making our courts, including ERRC, a center of excellence in service delivery. Our hope and expectation is that it would be said at the end of the 5 years of your tenure that it was during your term as principal judge at ERRC that court achieved the target of being a model court in service delivery, having cleared all backlog and attained the current case disposal status. A court to be used as a benchmark and as an example to be emulated by other courts locally and internationally. In other words, what I'm saying, 5 years when we stand here, your court will be real time. There will be no backlog of cases. You'll be waiting for cases to be filed and you hear them instantaneously. Am I speaking to somebody? The assumption of office of the principal judge today also comes in when we are dealing with the idea of shared leadership as championed in our vision, the social transformation through access to justice, the vision for the judiciary. The principal judge as the team leader, together with all the judges of ERRC, are the drivers of a court of excellence in performance and innovations to secure enhanced performance by ERRC. Our expectation as the judiciary leadership, which we warmly welcome you into, and indeed the expectations by Kenyans, is that the principal judge, the judges, and all the judiciary staff and the court users of the ELRC will be at the forefront in coming up with interventions to ensure timely delivery of justice to litigants. And I'm happy to hear that you already have a protocol of recognizing those champions who ensure that there is excellence in delivery of service. And this is truly an embodiment of the people-centered justice approach by our judiciary. Indeed, our vision, STARGE, pursues an agenda that intends to ensure that the delivery of justice is efficient and prompt. We have now set our benchmark for expanded delivery of justice to be the goal of ensuring that no court case stays in trial for more than 3 years and no more than 1 year on appeal. I am confident that you, my Lord, the principal judge, will continue to be at the front line and to take the driver's seat in leading ELRC towards attainment of this target. I'm most happy to hear of the new innovations that have been put at your entry to see to it that you create divisions to deal with the old matters so that you can complete them and Kenyans will be better served. Tackling the problem of case backlog and delay in the resolution of cases demands that we continuously rethink how we manage our courts in fundamental ways. STARGE allows and indeed encourages localized and court-based innovations geared towards enhancing court performance. I therefore encourage all of you to support our PJ to re-examine our practices and re-engineer them to improve the efficiency of the ELRC. I like the recommendations that were made by the representative of COTU and also Kenya Federation of Employers to embrace the multi-door approach, the alternative dispute resolution, and court-annexed mediation as an avenue of accessing justice to our people more expeditiously. In addition, the ELRC being the doorway to the resolution of labor disputes should be the driver of our social justice jurisprudence in that area. A jurisprudence that is responsive to our social context and also the socio-economic transformation imperatives of the 2010 Constitution. Therefore, the kind of jurisprudence that I have in mind is that is aimed at promoting social justice, the interest of the employers, employees, and given that we are a democratic society, the people as a whole who are the ultimate beneficiaries of the industrial activities, it should also be an indigenous jurisprudence that serves not only our purpose, but also can be exported to other jurisdictions. You will be happy to share this good news from Justice Dr. Wanjara, who has just come from Canada, from Huge Legal Symposium, where the Kenyan decisions were being shared in those forums. We want to continue celebrating our judges for those initiatives that bring Kenya to the world map. Allow me to use this opportunity to reiterate the aspiration in our strategic institution vision, the STARGE, and also in the ELRC strategic plan 2021-2025, that we will work with the Judicial Service Commission to ensure that we progressively attain the goal of having the full complement of the recommended judge establishment of 47 judges for the ELRC. However, I am sure that with the appointment of 9 more judges last year, that brings the total number to 21, the court is now in a better position to manage its current caseload. We have made some leveraging on technology in service delivery and corporate engagement a key pillar of the operations of the judiciary going forward. I therefore urge the ELRC to lead in developing a paperless judiciary where courtrooms are hosted on the ground and litigants accorded the flexibility of virtual proceedings. We've been engaging in this debate whether the court is actually a place or it is an avenue where we can access justice. Let us protect and preserve the gains brought about by e-filing and virtual proceedings to ensure efficiency in the service delivery. I also urge you to continue the process of entrenching this multi-door approach to access to justice. ELRC should encourage conciliation and mediation as alternatives to court adjudication in line with the spirit of Section 15 of the Employment and Labor Relations Court Act. I note that over the last 5 years, you have referred 433 matters in Nairobi to the court annex mediation. This means there is still room for deepening the uptake of mediation in employment and labor relations disputes. Data continues to be our guiding star. What gets measured gets done. As at the day of your assumption of office, Honorable Principal Judge, the cases pending in your court are 11,800, with a backlog of 9,582 cases. 2,843 of these cases have stayed in the court beyond 3 years. I therefore will be urging you and your team to focus on these 2,843 cases. At least if you have put some measurement for your 100 days in office, I think I will send the DCJ there again to distribute these files, and all of you come up with the strategies and interventions that will ensure that these cases will be out of the court system by June 2023. I'm sure it can be done. It was done during my predecessor's time, and it can be done again when you employ the right case management methodologies. Allow me to welcome you, incoming Principal Judge, the Judiciary Leadership Team. Rest assured that we will support you and ELRC to realize your vision and the overall judiciary vision during your tenure as Principal Judge. As we continue to navigate the perils of our modern world and to seek ways to make justice a universal and realizable value, let us continue to explore new ways of serving mankind in this sacred duty of judging and judgeship. I will end with an encouraging quote from one Rahaf Wando Emerson, who said, and I quote, "Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail." End of quote. Love, Wando Emerson. I thank you all. I wish to congratulate the PJ most warmly and assure you of all my support and beyond also my prayers. May God guide you. May God shine His light upon you. May He bring all the right people to work with you, and may He bless ELRC. Thank you very much. All the best.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chief Justice. Thank you very, very much. May we remain upstanding for the national anthem and the lowering of the judiciary mace. National anthem, please.
very much. Thank you very, very much. With your kind indulgence, Honorable Chief Justice, allow me now to invite my colleagues to guide the photo session, the protocol team to clear the stage as we get into a session of photos, and thereafter we will welcome our guests to lunch. Honorable CJ, with your permission, you may take your seats for this short session of photos. Protocol team, please clear the stage. We have our Director of Photography, Zakim Rajan, doing what most of us have been unable to do. Because we are standing.
Oh, you want them to stand?
Yeah.
The problem is there are too many, they won't fit.
Okay, so then remove it. How big is CJ in the picture?
So we remove, they stand over there. If they stand, there are 50 people.
Take a photo now. Honorable Chief Justice, allow me to invite you and the principal judge for the first picture. We will clear the excess seats as we take this picture. Thank you very much. Allow me to invite the Honorable Deputy Chief Justice to join the Chief Justice and the PJ. I will request the protocol team yet again to clear the stage. Thank you very much. I invite now the Director of the Kenya Judiciary Academy, the PJ Emeritus number 1, PJ Emeritus the 2nd, and the Deputy Chief Registrar to join the Chief Justice and the Deputy Chief Justice. Thank you very much. I will now invite the PJ ELC and PJ High Court to join the picture. The PJ of the High Court has an urgent engagement in another city. The judges of the ELRC, all the judges of the ELRC, to join the Chief Justice and Deputy Chief Justice on stage. Protocol team, please clear the table.
This I think she should just join the photo. There's one judge left. I think she's from a different court.
My lady, please join the picture. Thank you very much. Thereafter, I will request the registrars and the deputy registrars to join the picture. Registrars and deputy registrars, please. I now request Honorable Chief Justice, Deputy Chief Justice, and PJ to remain on stage and request everybody else to take their seats kindly. Next, we have our guests. The guests who are on the program, the chairperson of the Public Service Commission and the representatives on the program to join the Chief Justice for a picture. Please. ILO, FKE, KOTU, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Labor, any person representing our development partners. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I will request Honorable CJ, DCJ, and PJ to remain on stage and invite the family of the principal judge to join the picture on the stage. And here we always give some allowance for selfies, individual pictures. It's your day. Because without you, we wouldn't have our wonderful, wonderful PJ in his great health and support that only you can provide. So we recognize you very specially. I see we have our little future Chief Justice there, representing all the wonderful children in this country. We honor you as all being family, but will request the immediate family to now stay behind for a special picture. The immediate family, please. Thank you very much, Honorable Chief Justice. 2 more pictures with your permission. We have the ELRC CUC joined by the Nairobi LSK branch. The ELRC CUC joined by the Nairobi LSK branch, please. Members of staff, ELRC, please get ready for the final picture. Members of staff. Special mention to Joshua and Deborah, please get ready for a picture, together with members of staff who support the judges in the court. Watch out for these pictures in the next edition of the SOJA report. Thank you very much, Honorable CJ, Honorable DCJ. With your permission, members of staff, ELRC. Now is your moment. You're the champions that support our judges to do what they must. I thank you very, very much, Honorable Chief Justice, DCJ, for your indulgence, our guests for your patience. After this picture, I invite you for lunch. We might have to take it in 2 batches. Or we might have to have others.
Let's exchange. If you are not behind.
We believe in shared leadership, so we will share the resources on the stage. The judge was supposed to do the Thank you very much, Honorable CJ, Honorable DCJ, Honorable PJ. Thank you very much to our guests. I now invite Honorable Lady Justice Helen Wasilwa to bless our lunch and welcome you for lunch. Thank you very, very much. Chief Justice, after the prayer, with your permission, we welcome our guests to lunch. Honorable Judge.
Thank you, thank you. So let us pray. Almighty and everlasting Father, we thank you and we bless your name. You are a good God. Thank you that you have helped us through this ceremony. We have seen your hand of grace and we return all the glory and honor unto you. We also thank you this afternoon that you have given us something that we can eat. May you sanctify our food before you partake of it. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The protocol team will lead our guests to lunch. Karibuni sana. Thank you very much to the band for keeping us entertained. Thank you very much to our technicians for making sure that our gadgets work. Thank you very much for gracing us with your presence. And thank you very much for praying for us, for holding the judiciary in your prayers, and for championing us and for holding us up as we support the Chief Justice and the Deputy Chief Justice in their quest to reinforce and uphold justice in our country. May our good God bless and keep you. Thank you very much.